So, we just got back from Train with Rich weekend. What'd you guys think? What was the highlight?
I thought it was a great group this time, honestly.
This group was awesome.
Yeah.
Super easy, laid back.
Yeah. A lot of fit people.
A lot of fit people,
Yeah.
There was one first timer.
Nice.
Never done CrossFit before in his life.
I know. I
Really?
talked to him because I gave him a correction on the rower, and his
He
friend.
didn't tell me that till after it was over.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And his friend was like, "Oh, this is his first time sitting on a rower." I was like, "Are you kidding me? He's doing great. He did so many sit-ups. He said he did like a bunch of
I
sit-ups.
wish some people would tell us that before we programmed some of the stuff.
Well, he came with Invictus, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Or Victus.
With Victus, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Did you know it was Andrew's 10th time?
Yep.
I told him we were going to, you know how, at the
Glenn's
games,
gotta be...
He's got to be up there. He's
Close.
got to be 8 or 10.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they overtake Tommy.
Dang.
Tommy's for sure.
Where were
down.
Tommy and Chance?
And then Chance has got to be down too now.
Mm.
I think
Chance
Andrew might be-
was ahead of Tommy last time he was here.
Yeah,
Sarge,
if you're listening to this,
Sarge
Chance.
told me he's been to every Train with Rich.
Who?
Sarge has.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
who's been to them all now at this point, other than
You've been to them
you
all, right?
guys?
Or
I've
have you
been to
missed-
all of them except
There's 18 of 'em,
The ones
so.
that were
I've been
out
to
of
all of them.
Have you been to all of
Yeah.
the Train with Riches?
that weren't here.
Okay.
You've been present at all of your
All of
events.
them that weren't.
We would
here.
hope you'd
Yeah,
be at
I've
all
been
of them.
to all of them that were here, but not.
Train at Rich's gym, not with Rich.
Not with Rich. I feel like Dre had been to most of them till recently, so he.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dre fell off.
Josh might be up there,
Josh might be up there.
but I don't know. Was he there in the? Think back to the first ones. Those were crazy.
How many have there been total?
18.
18.
But what were the ones abroad? Do those count or those don't count?
Those don't count.
Okay, so 18. That's a lot.
My first
Those
weekend
don't
when I
train
moved
with
here
Rich is
was
across
Train with Rich.
abroad. They were just me and Hensel.
Doing
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
I thought you guys did one in China or something.
Yeah, but it was like an hour.
Oh yeah. We
Wasn't
did
really
like
kinda the same
a
thing.
little workout.
What were you saying, Tish?
Oh, I was just saying that my first day here, actually, when I moved here, was a Train with Rich. Remember? I came in on a Friday night. I drove across from
you not only
New
your
Hampshire.
your
Wow.
first visits, all of
Hopped
Tasha's
into
first
Train with
visits were
Rich.
just soul crushing. Her first visit was the 33 rounds and the
those
dazzle
are
them
old.
with the.
I never heard that story you told about the 33 your birthday.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't.
I remember
include
it.
that it was the why.
33 rounds of one power snatch at 185, three bar muscle ups, and 5 bar facing burpees.
It actually makes me laugh though that you guys try to break someone with the swim. I didn't realize you were actually trying to
No,
break
we weren't
me.
trying to break you. We just
okay.
happened to line up with
Oh.
the day you were here.
The
But what happened with the other one was,
She was
she melted down.
you remember she threw her goggles across the
Yes,
pool and was
this is not
dropping f bombs.
this
and
is not
quitting.
an effing warm up, and we were all kind of like, okay,
Okay.
probably not
And
gonna
Jim,
run
I
here.
didn't know at this point that you're supposed to exhale in the water. So my body was going into shock the entire swim. And I was like, I think I'm going to die here.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's that'll put you in laughter.
Yeah, I was literally so dead.
Like when you came back to the gym and they had the table set up with the clipboards and all that business, they were gonna. What were you thinking?
I mean, by the time I had come on the trip, I was like, please God, let them like me. I want to come here. I'm so excited. And so I was like, I'm going to have to do something really impressive here to make sure they think I'm fit enough. Because, my shoulder, I was rehabbing my labrum at that time. So
Right.
I hadn't done a ton of stuff.
So it's good we made you do 100 bar muscle ups. That's perfect for.
It was a good
rehabbing your
tester,
shoulder.
actually, because I was a few months into my rehab and just building back up. The week before, I had done ring muscle ups for the first time. So I was ready to go.
Right.
But also a little nervous and apprehensive. But
The whole clipboard
Crushed it.
The clipboard thing is hilarious.
That's so funny.
I just still remember the 33 tallies on the board and being on the other side with Lindy. And Lindy never quit a workout. Just not. She'd always
Was
do,
it her
something,
back or
but,
something?
I have no idea. I think
No,
one point
she
was
just-
she said it was just ridiculous and stopped doing it. And I was
It might have been
"Can
a
you leave
little-
those tallies there?
Can I have those?
I was like, I need that.
That's so funny.
It was a bit ridiculous, but when have we ever not done anything
But
ridiculous?
it's fun to do ridiculous hard things sometimes.
Ellie, we
Sometimes.
also did that really crooked garden that time when I came,
that
remember?
picture still pops up in my
Oh,
pictures and
it's
makes
so
me
bad.
so happy.
The one right outside the front of the
Yeah.
barn. We
Yeah.
planted. I've never planted a garden. Everything was
So
too
awesome.
close. It wasn't in a straight line.
Such a
it
waste
showed.
of time.
Such a waste of time.
It was not. That brings me so much joy thinking back on those things. And you know what? That's probably the soil in those areas of your yard is probably the best soil on your whole property.
Listen,
That's
you,
how that
you
works.
can
'Cause the
never
nutrients.
you can never say
The camper
that
sits
he
there.
was not kind to you because he literally just burned money. It would have been
one-
better to
one
have
time-
burned the money
One time.
than to
Twice.
do all that.
What's 365 times 6?
Twice. Hey Siri.
What's number 2?
What's
The second-
365 times 6?
18.
5 times 6 is 30.
21.
You've
21.
Did you get it?
21 something.
What's
I don't know.
365 times 6?
Somebody.
I got it. I got
18 and then 36, so
20.
2160.
it. 90. 2190.
21.
That's closer than-
2,190. So
What's the point?
I've been
Who cares?
nice to you
What are you saying?
2,100. I've niced him every day. 2,190 days.
Holy
but I guess
smokes.
I'll take 2.
That
It's good
gardening
memories.
thing was a waste of time.
It was
makes me
2
happy.
gardens that were a waste of time.
No,
They
they
did
weren't
it
a
twice.
Okay,
waste.
the
Those-
second
Yes.
one had a better chance of survival, and it did not survive.
No.
There was
Guys,
no chance.
The amount
was
of
no
joy
chance
that
that
those
any of that-
gardens brought me is well worth it.
You didn't
Well
even
worth
take
the
care of
investment.
them.
I think the second one,
You
didn't
didn't
we
even-
do
I mean,
it?
I'm
It was
being
like me,
honest.
you, Kristen. Were you there?
Yes, I was pulling the stuff out of the
And then
trunk.
JJ weeded it for 3
yeah.
hours. And then Ellie's like, "This looks great. We'll keep this up."
No.
I never once touched it
JJ
again.
and I were out there weeding it together till our hands bled. Thank you. And then J Webb brought his what's the
Rototiller.
The tiller.
Oh,
I
yeah.
learned so many lessons. I
You
miss
had
the garden
It's
so
just
so
such,
many
much.
it's such
people.
a metaphor for your life, really.
In what way? Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing because they're laughing.
I haven't seen you smile that big in 5 days.
Because that's funny.
You know it's true.
You guys, I'm not understanding the parallel. Someone explain that to me.
I am the smartest man alive. Nobody writes workouts like me. How can I prove that? I programmed.
I still don't get it.
Oh, okay. We've got 2 individual packages on Mayhem Athlete that are simple and now give you way more value. Our competitor package grants you immediate access to all of our individual programs and content we put out on a daily basis in the SugarWatt app. Live classes, workout prep notes, and more. Or if you just want to get a good workout in 30 minutes to an hour, we have the Everyday Athlete package ready for you. Sign up and join me and the crew to do the workouts 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. And Ellie does the live classes for Mayhem 30 daily at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We've got the Mayhem affiliate program going. We provide daily coaching, videos, programming notes, warm-ups, and cooldowns, and more exclusive content and offers. And lastly, we have added every single one of our classes we offer here at CrossFit Mayhem, so you can run your gym like ours. Go to CrossFitMayhem.com/programming to get your gym or yourself on our programming and join the Mayhem Athlete family.
Can I just say that the cereal bar was awesome this weekend?
Cereal bar was
Cereal
delicious.
bar.
Let's do that.
Haley actually had a really good question. If you could add one cereal to said cereal bar, what would you be? I stole the O's, the extra box of O's,
Were
and
they
I ate
as
3
good?
bowls last night.
Okay, I'm like, were they as good as you remember?
That's how
As soon as I got home, I had a bowl, and then I was still hungry because I was
You're
just smashed. And so I was like, I'm going to eat another bowl. And then last night, I ate a 3rd bowl.
Is the
Okay.
roof of your mouth okay?
Yeah.
It's fine.
I felt like you left with 3 or 4 boxes of cereal.
did.
Yes.
I did. They were here.
Yeah, nobody took
I
them.
really
took 'em?
wanted to try
Yeah.
the s'mores and I wasn't able to, and I was
What?
overwhelmed during. I think what Rich was giving his testimony, and Ben walks up with this giant bowl of Captain Crunch and the box and 2 spoons, and I'm like, oh, that seems weird. The one was a paddle. It was like a ladle, and he was eating it with it was like the size of your hand, and I was like,
I'm
you're
standing.
gonna be sick.
I'm standing in the back. All right. Rich is giving his testimony. This is a serious
No, it was-
moment.
yeah.
Right.
It's not that serious.
Well, but it was.
kidding.
It was good.
like, what?
It was good. There was,
was
like
great.
quality questions going back
Yeah.
and forth. I feel like there's a lot of growth happening in that moment. And then you look up and here comes Ben, stumbling across the gym floor with balancing milk and cereal like behind the whole thing.
And a
It's
Does
like,
paddle
that really
spoon.
surprise you?
no, but I was just like, Ben, this is not the time to be hauling
Ben.
your cereal across the back
It's the
of the
biggest
gym.
spoon I've ever seen in my whole life.
I was more concerned, sometimes when you eat cereal and it's quiet and it's crunchy, that we were all going to hear it, but I was quiet enough that it was fine.
I was
Slurping his
listening.
milk.
I was like, I wonder how loud that is in his ears, because I was sitting there and I could hear the crunch, and I'm like, that's got to be like speakers
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
You know,
It's so
the
funny.
loud
I hate
crunch.
when it's
Captain
quiet and
Crunch.
you're eating something really crunchy and everyone else is quiet and you're like,
You're like, maybe if I crunch slowly, and you're like, this isn't helping any.
What cereal will you add? Like,
I know, yeah. It was your answer of Lucky Charms was a solid one.
yeah, that's what
I
I,
like
would
Lucky
do.
So we had s'mores.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
I really wanted
We
to
had-
try that.
Raisin Bran Crunch, you
Raisin
said.
Bran Crunch is good.
That's good. It's
I
quality
like
choice.
mixing them. What would have been good?
I
A
don't
good
like
mixer.
mixing cereals.
No,
No, don't like it.
it depends.
Nope.
Depends on the kind.
Sarge
I
mixed
eat a whole
every.
bowl, and then I will
cereal.
eat another separate bowl.
Well, if
but
you
I
get
do
a good
not
enough
mix.
cereal, but if you have
No.
a plain cereal, then it's good to spice it up.
That
don't
is
do
fair because Jake and Locker and I are having this discussion about I'd eat just plain rice checks. Like I love cereal. So if you just have plain rice checks, you could throw in a little bit of,
Something a little,
sugar, like
You
fruity
would only
pebbles.
set that'd be gross. You'd set another rice check in there, but like
a cinnamon
flavored
one.
rice check.
It's like if you have corn pops, you can mix something in. Oh, those are
Oh, I
really
forgot
sweet.
about corn
Corn
pops.
pops.
Corn pops are actually pretty decent.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
some the other day.
Corn
I
pops
hadn't
are
had them in
great.
a long time. They're
Oh
not
my
bad.
gosh.
Have you guys
I
had
used to
Cookie
love-
Crisp? They're pretty good
Oh,
too.
yes.
Crisp was delicious.
I do like Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp was a good one. I liked the Lucky Charms was a good answer.
Yeah, I need to have those again. I need those in my life.
There's
Yeah.
is it fruity Lucky Charms or like raspberry?
Frosted Lucky Charms.
No, they're
Oh,
they're all right.
I haven't
It's
tried
not that
them.
great.
Yeah.
Like Frosted Flakes Lucky Charms are all right.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't use it with milk anymore, though, right? We had this discussion,
milk.
but okay. Just making sure.
There's one. I think it's fruity Lucky Charms, and it's actually really good.
Haven't
Yeah,
had
that's
those.
deceptive. I feel like that wouldn't have been like, let me
the-
try that one.
Hey, you remember like the ones that used to come out around Halloween, like Frankenberry.
Yep.
and
Oh, yeah.
blueberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes like Frankenberry.
Nice.
But better, I think.
You know what I bought this
Count
weekend?
Chocula.
To make for you guys, because you brought up the, I'm going to make those
You
oatmeal
won't make
cream
shit.
pies. I got the ingredients over the weekend, so I'm going to make them and see if they're as good.
What day will they be here?
Okay, give me some accountability since apparently.
Look, I
my-
will
They
not
won't be.
let
I'm right
this
here.
go.
What day?
They won't be
Are
here.
you guys, I'm going to have.
Okay.
You'll have them tomorrow.
They
Give me
won't
a
be
day.
made.
Okay,
I
you'll
will
get
be.
them tomorrow.
I will be texting you.
I'm making them tonight.
I'm
Every
just asking
evening.
a general question
not
when
doing
they
it.
will arrive.
It won't happen.
It's going to
Tomorrow.
happen.
Fine. What do you want if I don't
Don't
bring
put
them
pressure on
tomorrow?
yourself.
I'm gonna
I
text.
want pressure.
I'm going to text you and Kyle until
Well-
they come, so I can just piss
If it
him
can't
off.
be
He could care
tomorrow,
less.
do you think? What about Thursday?
That's tomorrow. They're coming tomorrow.
Oh, it's like tomorrow, Thursday.
So I actually bought another one of those last week after.
Jim,
You didn't bring it to the barn?
I know.
No,
What about me?
it was in the morning time. Actually, I had it for breakfast. I had a meeting up there.
Nutritious.
It's got
It-
oatmeal in
it
it.
was
Weren't
horrible.
fasting, huh?
Nope. I was like, I saw him sitting there, and I was like, I'm in. and I only ate half of it, and I threw it away.
What?
'Cause it was so bad. It fell apart, and I
Wait, it was
texted
a
the
bad
manager,
one.
and I'm like, that's BS. And he's like, we'll give you your money back. And I'm like, I don't want money back. I just want the oatmeal cream pie to be wonderful.
But you got through half of it.
I did. I'm making half of it.
Even though it's terrible.
It wasn't that bad.
That's pretty good for me, man. I threw part of it away.
You pushed through it.
You've lost all credibility with me when you watched half an episode of Yellowstone. You're a quitter.
So
Sure.
I do have to say,
You're a
like,
quitter.
I don't know how you only got, because now
I
I've
didn't
been
think it was
watching
that
and
good.
it's like, it is addicting.
I really just didn't think it was that good.
But I have an oatmeal cream pie question real quick. So I've got like 3 recipes here, and I didn't know if you guys, are you, like, is this one you're talking about? Like, are you gearing more towards you want like the original ones that come in the package where the oatmeal is, the cookie part's thinner and it's like a creamier, like they have like, have you had like the whoopie whatever, like they're like fluffier? There's
I've
2
had a whoopie
recipes. There's one that's like a thicker cookie, and there's one that's like, you want soft and chewy like the one in the box, or you want like,
Yeah, soft and chewy. I
Yeah.
don't want any crunchy oatmeal cream pie.
and you just want like plain icing, because there's like there's some buttercream icing, there's some vanilla icing.
I'll
This one we had was exactly like
Yeah.
the Little Debbie one.
So very
only
soft.
Better.
Yeah, it's super
Okay.
soft. It's like a sugar icing, which normally I would prefer like a cream cheese ice cream icing, but it goes well with it.
Yeah.
The sugar one. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was thick. It was like just better. Make
Okay.
it better than
Okay.
the Little
Just
Well,
Debbie.
then I
don't
would
mess
like
it.
dip half of it in chocolate, but
There's
that's
like
just me.
no pressure, but just don't mess it up.
Well, when I bring it tomorrow, you guys can figure it out.
We need a taste test with the other one.
I could do both, but that's
that's a
that'd be
good
pretty,
idea.
that's
Why don't you
labor
make
intensive.
all 3 recipes?
All right. Let me know when you're actually going to bring them.
I
and
do.
will.
I bought weird ingredients because it calls for like, so some of the secret ingredients are molasses, and it's a certain color molasses.
There's no way that's secret.
It's not light brown sugar. It has to be dark brown sugar
Yeah.
because of the bitterness and the sweetness. Shortening, so basically lard. is one
Oh
of
yeah,
the other
that's when you know
ingredients.
you're baking something.
Yeah.
I like to bake. That's when you know you're
Yeah.
doing something good.
You have to like friggin' pulse the oats. I had to get certain oats.
Yep.
Yeah, this is
You've
how
already
committed I
toasted
am.
them?
What?
You've already toasted those?
No, I have to do it when I get home. Yeah, it's labor
So
intensive.
when you're going to bring them, I will go up and get.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
So I'm going to. I promise I will bring a couple of those from Poets tomorrow. We will compare them.
Elly, You might need to head home.
Can you leave down
and
and
start
start baking for
baking.
M30 tomorrow? Because that's going to be all night cooking.
I want to stop right now and talk about integrity.
Ah!
I want to take you to Challenge 4 of Mayhem Mindset.
Speaking of, what did you talk about at Train with Rich for Mindset this weekend? Did you knock some socks off or what?
It was really cool. There was
We were making a workout, and then we were giving
Oh
Ben
my
the opportunity
gosh.
to program a workout.
Well, that was good.
And Ben lost even more credibility because he took the workout that we'd already been talking about and acted like he hadn't heard it.
Truly.
And programmed the workout.
Oh,
Ben, you're falling.
I don't know what to do about that.
Ben's days are numbered here.
Yeah, you've been
It feels
like
like that.
trying to grow him and give him an opportunity,
he's
and I
not
feel like
taking
Well, we
advantage
had,
of it.
so Ben and I had a discussion about this target on his back
Okay.
recently.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know what to do for you, but you could try to pass the target. Because I'm like, right now you've got the target, so I'm going to leave the target
problem
there.
is he doesn't help
He
himself.
doesn't help himself.
No.
yeah.
Although
I don't mind like a
No,
little
I know.
trash talking or whatever, but if you're going to work hard, I'm good with it.
Of course,
Yeah.
I know.
Like Scott, you literally can't get him out of his seat.
Yeah,
Like
truly.
turn stuff out. like,
Lives and
quick.
bleeds
Right.
mayhem.
Ben's like, well, how much you going to pay me?
right.
And then he's going to show up late or dressed like a moron.
Scott did
Or
give me
not
some
even show
great
up at
camera
all.
tips this weekend, too.
Right.
Yep.
Did he what?
He gave me some great camera tips because my whole like camera stolen mishap thing. I was like, hey, can you help me pick out a new camera? Like I actually don't know anything about it, and like the new version of my camera came out, but it's like exponentially more expensive. And I was like, is this anything of value to someone that is a novice camera person? He went through it with me and was like explained all these things. And then in the meantime,
Did you say somebody stole your camera?
yeah, out of my trunk when they stole everything out of my car and my lens and everything.
All the clothes, all her man clothes, everything.
I was going to say, why'd you leave something that expensive in your car?
It was hidden, and the car was only in the driveway for 2 hours, and they
Middle
walked
of
up
the
during
day.
daylight, opened my trunk, and took it out and left. It was actually, that was how I knew it was stolen and that I didn't just lose it all in my house somewhere. I had put the camera, because you're trained to, like, hide your stuff. Like, I'd put it under some things and, like, but yet somehow everything was still kind of placed like it usually is, but the leg of the tripod must have been sitting out. It's my own fault.
That really sucks.
It's all right. They have pictures of all of us, and I'm sure they deleted them and stole them, but, you know, whatever.
They sold our pictures?
Bunch of crooks running around with mayhem gear.
Mayhem gear and cameras and my gym
cut
bag.
off Elly cut off shirts.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Scott is great. He takes some great pictures. Great
He's really
videos.
good at what he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
oh, he like slid in there. I'm like he's talking about megapixels or something. He's like, well, you know, it's like I've taken plenty of pictures that have been on these billboards and whatnot, and I just didn't need high megapixels. And I'm like, you have pictures on billboards?
Yeah.
It's like cool.
He let me take the camera for the last part of the workout, and Abe told me when I got home later that he was hanging out with Abe, and when I was taking pictures, Scott was like, I hope that she just stops taking pictures because I'm gonna have to go through all these pictures. And he's like, she's way too close to be taking a picture of that person right now, just like talking about it. He's like, oh, thank God she's talking to Rich, so she's not taking any pictures. I'm like, dang, Scott.
You know, someone's really into what they do when we're having a college football conversation, and he brings up
How
which
much he likes teams based on what their media
department stuff,
Yeah, that
and he's
was-
like way dialed in and
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
passionate about it. I'm like, all right, this guy's legit.
Yeah, that's
He's like, I like Auburn because their media
That was
department, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, man.
All right.
Who was it that said nerd? Was that towards him or someone else?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was
Nerd.
It was Chris, coffee shop Chris called him a nerd. He called somebody a nerd. That's
was
been
funny.
the comeback of the week. Nerd.
I heard you recruited some of those guys for your flag football
Yeah,
game.
we needed.
They hang
some
in there and
help
do all right,
yesterday.
or
We needed some bodies. Yeah, they did good.
Is that why Chris is hobbling through the
Yeah,
coffee shop?
apparently-
He's got a knee sleeve on. He's dragging his leg behind
Apparently,
him.
Chris sprained his MCL.
Oh gosh.
Nice. It was worth it. Did
I
you guys
thought he
win?
really did run into you though, because
No.
in the days of handball when we'd play with him, if you run into Rich, you fall to the ground. Like he doesn't move.
Yep.
So I thought it was realistic that he ran into you.
No.
Wait, so did you guys win?
Yes.
Okay.
Have
Yeah.
you lost ever?
Yeah, we lost first game of the season. We were real sloppy, and it was very hot.
Was the other team good?
It was the team we played in the championship last year. So,
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, pretty good.
yeah. And
Nice. Do you guys have the same team as last year? Pretty much.
then ish, kind of core people, but everybody's gone on weekends. It seems like so we keep. The hard part is every game we've played, we've had a different set of receivers, which is really hard. But
What position
Well, if
do
you need a
play?
receiver, I'm pretty athletic.
what position do you think he plays? Just think about it.
Why? Why is that?
Well, I mean, just think
thought-provoking?
about it. It'd be like,
I mean,
what would you guess?
I don't want to toot his horn, but he's a pretty all-around athlete. So I could see
Well,
him
don't-
running down the field, or I could see him strategically. I imagine that he has to create everything that happens. So I imagine he's the quarterback. But
There
I
you
think
go.
he has the
Well
ability
done, Elly.
to be a receiver
He
if
could-
everyone was slow.
We also
So-
we also play like an odd offense. So we have 3 quarterbacks technically. We have a center quarterback, which is what I play, and then we have 2 kind of wing quarterbacks that play 7 to 8 yards separation. So there's just a lot of moving parts. It's just a lot of mass chaos,
It's
misdirection,
good. It's a lot of mayhem.
creating
Oh,
space.
man. How come you don't play this? You're like a professional
He's come
football
on a
player.
couple times, but not played.
No, at this point in my life, I don't need
Oh,
to
I
break
see.
anything at
Yeah.
52. Matter of fact, I will tell you the hardest thing I have to deal with being here is not playing because
Yeah.
football's everything, but I don't need to be running around in there and getting banged into and getting mad.
It's
and
pretty aggressive for flag football.
They get after it.
Like, there's definitely contact.
You guys,
We
you came
watched
to the
last
Mayhem
year.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game.
Mayhem
I
versus
will.
Mayhem.
I will.
Yeah.
I don't get hurt crossfitting. I get hurt sliding down a slip and slide, playing
Yeah,
football,
doing it.
tearing meniscus. I don't need
Well,
to do
the
that.
problem with that game too was Dre recruited some punk kids from
Yeah.
Tech, and so we had
Oh,
to make them
jeez.
feel stupid.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the team you were playing. Dre was.
This was
year.
last year. We had 2 Mayhem teams.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had kind of
Yeah,
our
yeah.
Mayhem team, and then there was another Mayhem team, and Dre was on another Mayhem team.
Yeah.
And he brought 2 punk kids, and they were just
Yeah.
punks.
Yeah.
And so we had to let them know.
You had to know. You had to
them
let them know.
know.
Yeah, that game was aggressive.
We're gonna win.
It got aggressive because we didn't know them. Like if it was just
Yeah.
our Mayhem people, it would have been fun. You can kind of like dig on each other and whatever, but yeah, sometimes it gets a little more heated than it probably should for grown men.
I played on this flag football team back about your age.
Yeah.
And it was 30-something-year-old guys, and then I was maybe at that point maybe 18 or 19, and it's the most fun I have
so
ever
much
had because you just
Yeah.
dominate people and
Yep.
run out there and catch the ball and have fun and win, and
Yep.
I miss it.
It's fun.
I miss it.
It is a good time. It's good to get out of the gym. I am really incredibly sore a lot of the times. I wasn't that sore today, but
Oh, spring
that
game.
first game I was hurting after that.
How many games a week?
Just one.
Oh.
One every Sunday.
Functional fitness.
But I mean, how do you guys feel about that in general? Because like we all came from like various sport backgrounds, and it's like sometimes you see your sport or your old sport, like baseball, gymnastics, football, whatever, and you see it and you're like, oh man, I'm like you're saying you miss it, and you want to be in it. But they're like, if I watch like a 5K or a mile,
Because
on the
running
track,
is
I'm
not
like,
fun.
well,
So
it's just
and it's
like.
it is a sport, but it's not like a spectator sport.
Well, it's even triathlons. Like sometimes, like
That's not also not fun to watch
It's
'cause
not
it's
about
so
the
long
fun.
and
It's
there's not a real-
It's about knowing how fast you know you could go when you train versus doing it recreationally. Like I get mad because I hold myself to a certain standard, and then I go and do a 5K, and I'm like, this is absurd. Like I should have bare minimum standard of running this. It's like a hard on yourself thing. I don't know. What do you?
Well, I
think?
mean, if it makes you feel better, I can't do anything I used to be able to do gymnastics wise. I can do like a cartwheel and a handstand. So I don't think it has the same, I look back and say, wow, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
And I survived.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, it's like looking back on some of the lifting stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. That hurts me. I don't
Yeah,
wanna do that.
that's the other feeling is like, yeah, you know how bad that hurts? Like when you have to black out while you're running, you run that hard? Like,
That happens to me even on a light jog. So
You just have to realize you're getting older.
change is
You got what
inevitable.
you got.
Like getting around football, the contact. Like at this point
Yeah.
in my life, I look at that and I go, I can't even believe that my body did some of those things. Like it would break me now. Like literally, I would snap. Like no, I do not want to get hit that hard. Like
watching football players in colder weather, that's what blows my mind. Like when you see like, what's your team? The
Patriots.
Patriots.
yeah, like when they're like at the games and you can see their breath and their hands are in the little warmers. I'm like, you know how it feels to like fall down from the rings or the rig when it's kind of cold and your ankles like jar. I can't fathom what that
so
feels like.
It's actually
getting
fun
hit.
to play in the
it's
cold.
exactly
Really?
the opposite
Why?
of that for sure,
Moving
100%.
the whole
Like
time. It's
Yeah.
like,
But you're not numb. It doesn't hurt.
because you literally don't feel it as much in the cold. The cold weather games were the best games to play
Really?
in. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because you
what
get
I'm
warm
surprised.
inside of what you're doing, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's-
mean, I see when Tom, when he was playing Brady.
Tom. My boy Tom.
Yeah,
you know,
Tom. They'd have that big like coat thing that would like when he was
Yeah.
like when they were defense or whatever, so he wasn't out there. He just had
Yeah.
that big coat on.
yeah.
You gotta be warm in there. I'm like, that's gotta be so thick.
Some of the most fun things I can remember were cold weather, where it was snowing hard or
Yeah, those
sleet,
games
and
are
you're just
fun.
you're
We used to
wet
play-
and you're muddy, and
And I look back, we used to, every Friday night, we'd meet up at that same field in Allgood, and we'd just play football, tackle football, no pads, no nothing, just like 15, 20 guys sometimes, like full.
Nobody got hurt?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
all the time.
Somebody got hurt every
it'd
week.
Be like 30 degrees or 20 degrees, and it would be kind of a little bit of sno. And
Yeah.
those were the most fun times.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get done, you're like,
bit
man.
of
Now I'm
snow.
like, oh, I can't imagine.
There's always a fight and somebody always gets hurt.
Always. Bobby
Period.
Norwood broke his collarbone.
oh my
How?
gosh.
Yeah, I tackled him, and it was cold that night,
Snap.
and like shouldered down.
Ugh.
Good times.
Good times.
Good memories.
I'm glad that's a good memory for you
Yeah.
guys.
Fun.
Oh jeez.
Well.
Tasia, did you figure out your Hawaii trip while Victus was here?
No, I think we're just going to wait it out because quarantine's
Oh,
still
you
like
can't go
happening
now.
with COVID. So
What's the
Yeah.
quarantine there?
14 days.
Wow.
So unless you have a month to go.
Can
Then-
you like pick a hotel on the beach to quarantine in? Like,
I guess technically. I don't know if
Good
the hotels are like
yeah.
working right now with tourism and
actually,
everything.
I saw something that Disney World was opening back up.
Okay, so my aunt said she's been going because they do like it's like 20 to 30% capacity. She said, and I'm not like telling people they should travel during all this stuff. She said there has never been a more incredible time. They go once a week right now because they have
There's
passes.
no lines, right?
No lines, and she said for things like the Star Wars experience, she's 70 something, and she's like, it's the coolest thing I've ever done. But they only let like 200 something people do it a day because she said they take you through rooms and you're like doing all this insane stuff. She said it's the coolest thing she's ever gone through. So, and she said you can get rooms at like the Four Seasons and like the Ritz-Carlton for like 20% of what they usually cost. And they only allow so many rooms. So actually you can have like a pretty incredible vacation if you happen to be driving that way or doing something
Yeah.
like that.
I flew.
now.
Or do you want to live your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I flew multiple times during this COVID deal. Safely.
Southwest is awesome.
you
It
can
was
al-
so
you
nice.
get, like,
People in
rows.
Really?
Yeah,
I've been
me and
Yeah.
Lakeland, we
Oh my
went to LA
gosh.
for a photo shoot, and you just literally, it's just me and Lakeland on
Yeah.
in our own
Yeah.
row, and nobody was like, because they
people are
leave
polite,
once.
Yeah.
they're quiet.
Yep.
Airport was like half capacity. It was
It
awesome.
actually makes it really
New
easy to
terminal in
travel.
Nashville's nice. You've been to
Oh
it?
yeah, it's
Mhm.
really
really
nice.
nice.
Oh, really? I haven't been in.
It looks
I
like
got
a real
stopped for the
airport now.
first time
Yeah.
the other day. I have TSA pre-check,
That's so nice.
and they don't check any of your toiletries or any of that stuff normally. And I had some lotion for the tattoo, and it doesn't come in a little tiny bottle. And so they ran it through, and the guy was
6
like,
ounces.
"Yeah." The
Did
guy
they
was
take
like,
it?
"This is too big," and I'm like, "It's for the new tattoo or whatever." And he was like, "Well, let me test it. It's too big." So they did some little test, and he gave it back to me and said, "See you later."
Wow,
Which was
that's
Dang.
awfully nice.
I was like, "Right on."
Last time when I took Lakeland, we were coming back through from LA. I had her bag, my bag, her backpack, my backpack, right? Well, so I ended up checking two of them, and because I was like, all right, Southwest, it's free, whatever. And then I forgot, I put my bag through all that, grabbed my backpack. I was trying to get her going, left my like clothes bag at the check-in. And so we're getting there.
no.
We met, Rory was there, and so we're talking to him, and I'm like, did I leave my bag here? And he's like, you didn't have a bag. I was like, so I walked back. Sure enough, I left it there. They treat you like some type of criminal. Like I left it on purpose. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
sorry. They're like, what's your name? I'm like,
Oh,
okay, so I
jeez.
give him my ID and all that stuff. He's like, you got to walk back through security and all this stuff. And I was just like, all right, whatever.
Right.
Luckily, there's nobody there.
Right.
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds.
But still.
That's one of those places where you can't really afford
No.
to do anything other than just stand still and be quiet. Or
Yep,
they're going to
yep.
make it hard on you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit
I just
frustrating.
forgot my bag. Sorry.
You have that pre-check thing though?
No, I need to get pre-checked.
Yeah, because they
So
really leave you
nice.
alone, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You know, the only thing that pings me every time, which I stopped carrying it with me, is Spark. Advocare Spark sends me to
In a tub?
Yeah, it
Always
sends
a
me to the
tub.
bomb thing.
They
No
always-
kidding. The
they always
search
check
and the
the tub.
bomb swab every time, and I'm like, why?
Really?
Because it's
Yeah.
in a container and
No,
it's
I'm saying
powder
it
and
chirps when they swipe it too, and they're like, "I gotta do it again." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
What does that
Once I've
say?
happened.
Why is
Really?
it chirping?
I don't know.
Are you putting gunpowder in the Spark or what?
Oh, the secret's out. Oh dear. Anyway, so stop traveling with that container.
I flew back from Texas on American, and they had just opened it up. Like, so no more, middle seats are full, and there were multiple people on the flight
Oh, wait,
complaining.
really?
Yeah, and
Oh.
upset and shocked. Why don't we have a middle
Yeah,
seat
but I
here?
think it kind of cracks me up because isn't it supposed to be 6 foot? But when they sit you aisle and window, it's like 1 foot.
Yeah.
It's like,
There's no-
there's nothing.
I'm like, this
really-
person's not 6 foot for me. Like, I'm okay. I feel comfortable, but when
Yeah, I mean, you're already in a plane.
No, I know.
You're in, like,
Yeah.
the recirculating
You're
the
choosing
air.
that.
No,
So-
I know.
Like, it is what it
What are
is.
we
But they're
doing
like,
here?
it's social distance.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's not the
I think
proper.
they just say we're using social distancing guidelines. I've never been to somewhere where they say that and anybody's actually policing it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
That's true. Well, back to the whole Hawaii thing, though. I did read somewhere like it was talking about like hotels and places that are giving back during like the virus and stuff, because there are certain areas that are like, I mean, lots of people are struggling, but you know, you think especially like places like Hawaii where you're that isolated. In some of their hotels, they shut like a certain capacity down, and they obviously like let first responders there, but they also do like some of the hotels in Hawaii cook meals once a week for islanders and have everyone come in and like pick up food and stuff. So it's cool to see that at least like, so then the employees still
Yeah.
have work to do. They're helping people.
Yeah. That'd be
thought
cool.
that
I
was-
mean, if they want to put me in the Kaloa landing, I'll just go stay there, live there.
Tayshia's
Have you
gonna be
been
gone
there?
for the next 3
You gonna work
months?
there?
So what?
You're going to work there?
No.
Tasia doesn't come back. She's
Taysha,
got
I think
to.
you should be the lady in the hula skirt doing this thing and welcoming everyone.
You know me, guys. Great moves. Dance moves, athleticism.
The RP Diet app has customizable plans, whether you're trying to compete in fitness, gain muscle, or just lose some fat to look better for beach season. Search RP Diet app in the App Store. Use referral code Froning to save 33% on your subscription. Don't forget to find them on Instagram at RP Strength. And while you're at it, Inside Tracker analyzes your blood, DNA, and lifestyle choices to give you an ultra-personalized nutrition plan so you can meet your goals. Last time they analyzed my blood, I'm not going to say what it says here because we've said it 15 times. Go to InsideTracker.com, use code MAYHEM at checkout for 20% off. Any plan plus free inner age if you go with the ultimate package. I haven't got mine back yet. Have you,
Yeah,
have you
not yet.
searched?
Yeah, I looked, but mine's
When did
not.
you look last? I'm gonna look.
Well, I just checked my email this
I
morning.
never check my email. I'm gonna check right now
Okay.
and see if it's there.
Yeah.
You can see what your inner age is. You guys were like young the last time though, right?
I feel like
Tasia
I've-
was.
I feel like I've.
Yes.
It made me
I
way
was
older.
still
Ages.
younger than everyone else, but older than my previous inner age self.
Yeah, I'm. There's a new one too. Inner age 2.0.
What does that mean? I wonder.
I wonder what
Wow.
they take in.
I want to. It's been a while. I need to.
I
do
think that
again.
whole inner age thing angers me because it made me like 79 or
No,
something.
it did not.
No, it didn't.
It just made me older.
Well,
It did.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I don't know if it's the.
I was a big Inside Tracker proponent. No, I'm not. Just kidding.
yeah, I
That's a
was
joke.
21, and then the next one I got, I was like 28, which is still under my age currently. But now who knows?
21
Maybe
was-
I'll be like 60.
That would not.
You know when
be,
you're like when you get done working out or like you have your thumbs are either chalky or taped up or like sweaty, your buttons don't work on your
Yeah.
phone. That's how my phone is constantly.
That is horrible.
That's the
It's-
same here with my iPhone 1.
It's like I'm
terrible.
stuck. I'm so angry.
Can you get a new one?
Yeah, probably, but I don't need a new one. I would rather just get a new screen maybe if that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
Do you have the sticker thing on it or no?
No.
Yeah, then I don't know because
You
mine
probably
does
have
that
to
too,
take
but
it
mine's
in.
old. I did. I you
I have to
know.
like turn my phone. It's like one panel is bad or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have to like turn my phone to get it to do anything.
That's annoying.
Have you turned it off and turned it on? The whole,
yeah.
The whole.
I know that's usually fixes whatever's
Right.
wrong.
I know. Nope, I tried the old.
Have you tried throwing it at the wall?
Yep. Actually,
That's
did.
probably the best idea.
that was actually my first.
Just let Trice carry it around for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fixed.
Well, you know how I was waiting till September to get a new phone because I was like, hey, according to like everything, the next iPhone comes out in September.
It's not,
Not
out.
this year.
They moved
Wah, wah.
When is it coming out?
Well, I don't know. Instead, they just did that crazy update instead. But usually, and it was speculated that it was coming out in September. No, it's not coming out in September because who knows this year.
Yeah, no.
So now I have to decide, what am I going to do? Keep my potato for 8 more months or?
I'm really surprised you still have that old phone, honestly. Like, why have you not
Yeah.
updated it?
Well,
Just,
it's
I-
like,
I'm
it's
not
like
mad
I'm
or-
delaying gratification because I know if I get it and then a newer one comes out, I'm going to be frustrated that I have the older one.
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
why not just wait it out?
Yeah, but it's
But I feel like the 11 is so high tech now that like, although that's the newest one, right? The 11. So the 12 will probably have more things, but it's still like,
Nothing. Yeah, with it.
not that big a
My
difference, don't you
problem
think?
is I really don't use my phone for anything other than emails, texting,
Yeah.
some apps. delivering food.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
DoorDash.
That's it.
So you don't need like the high camera or like.
No,
any
I
of
mean
that
it'd be
stuff.
nice, I guess, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Like I don't
just
use
need
it
it
for
to- I
anything
just
other
need
than
it to
text
work.
and talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a flip phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I was at the ear doctor the other day, and this man came in, and she was like, "Hey, can I send you your like scripts or like whatever through your phone?" And he pulled out a flip phone, and she's like, "It's probably better if I print you a paper copy."
Right on.
That's legit. My mom used to have a flip phone. She just was always just whipping it out, and everyone's jaw would always be like,
We all
interesting.
had flip phones at some point.
I did at
Well, I
some point.
mean, recently, like the last year.
Are you using your iPad a bunch?
Ish.
Yeah.
Do you have a newer iPad or the same one?
It's okay.
Like, older one.
It's an iPad Pro. I mean, it's nice.
It looks fancy. I don't know.
And the more you're disconnected from all that, the
Yeah, it's
better.
better.
I think.
True. Truly.
No, I honestly, I'm not. Since I got rid of all that stuff on my phone, I don't ever get on social anymore. I look at like YouTube sometimes just to see what our videos are doing, but
Yeah,
other than that, news is it.
that's awesome.
There's a
That's
book
really
out now
good.
called Digital Minimalism, and I've been wanting to read it because the guy was on a podcast and was just super fascinating. Because obviously there's a slippery slope between like how do you stay connected to stay productive and do your work and everything like that, but like just the research behind every single person that if you just take out like certain things, kind of like you've done, you've kind of like cleansed it in a big way. Just the positive effects is like they're pretty astronomical, but it's again such a slippery slope because some people's stuff relies on social media and it's. But anyway, that book's supposed to be really good and interesting if you're.
There really
if you're
isn't any
thinking about
reason
that.
why you can't do that stuff like once a day. Go to it, log in, make a post, do whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then forget about it the rest of the day.
Right.
And what people say and on the comments and all that it's a complete waste of time.
Completely.
Yeah. It ends up frustrating you for no reason and like.
Right.
It's not really.
Yeah.
I haven't lost any value to my life not
Yeah.
reading comments.
No,
you know?
yeah.
You're just cleansing yourself of trolls, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's at the heart of someone? Like, I still like that's like that blows my mind. Like, what? And I really try to like empathize with people who are like hurting and things like that. But what is at the heart of someone that like does that? I don't know.
Yeah. You want to be, it's super cool that people want to connect, and there's so many good people out there. But man, I can't even imagine at the level you're at trying to respond to people and do all that. It just makes it where you really
Can't do
It
it.
you
could
can't live a
consume your life. Like, if you answered every single thing, like you could be completely consumed in reactionary behavior every day of your life. That's a lot.
and the opinions that matter are the people who are in our lives
Yeah.
that we're actually living with. And
Sure. Yeah.
I've been thinking a whole ton about like I just want to live in real life. I know it kind of sounds funny, but
No.
I want to make mistakes in real life. I want to.
Have you seen that
Yeah.
movie Ready Player One?
No, you've talked to
You
me
need to
about
watch
that.
it. That's
yeah.
actually really good.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
I need
you
to
need
add
to
that
watch
to
it.
my list too.
Write it
It's
down.
it's a Spielberg movie. It's got a bunch of like pop culture stuff in it, but it's essentially that
Ready Player One.
there's this alternate reality VR, like virtual reality game, and everybody in the future, like that they live in the game, and so like their whole life is this game, and then there's this one company trying to take over the game, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I heard a really good psychologist talking about the future, and his prediction is that people are going to really get lonely because of this idea that we can you could literally be alone all day
Yeah.
and get some of the gratification that we would get through interpersonal relationships from your media, from the internet, from all of that. But at some point culturally it's going to catch up with this generation, and people are not going to want that, and they're going to go back to wanting connections with
actual,
people.
yeah.
And
That's like Brooks, when we were down there, Brooks from Mission 2540. This was last year, but we were talking about his son, and he's like 17. He's like, he doesn't have his driver's license, or he was a little past 16. I remember the day I turned,
You're
I
like,
wanted my driver's license as soon as I could get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no, they just kind of like all text and do whatever. They don't ever hang out. Or I'm like, what the heck?
how in
Yeah.
the
it's weird. I've heard that story multiple times.
Yeah.
Teenage boys they don't care. They
Yeah.
just soon sit
Well,
in their
there's
room
that, what's his name? JP, that makes those funny videos.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And he
Yeah.
was like, I think it's Awaken with JP or something, whatever it is. But he has those funny, like making fun of everything that's going on, and it's pretty accurate most of the time. But it's one of them. He's like sitting around with his friends or whatever, and they're all on their phone. He's like, I don't actually like my friends in real life. I like my virtual friend or virtual whatever, their virtual personality better or something. It's pretty funny. It's pretty accurate
funny.
too.
Yeah.
But it goes against like I was listening to this. There's this one. I don't know if he's a doctor or just researcher, like Paul Zak or something like that. He's like one of the original scientists who understood like oxytocin. So like it's like they call it like the cuddle hormone, or why people trust each other or bond. And he talks like, this was before like, COVID and stuff like that. Like he talks about like, to build trust with people, you have to either be making physical contact with them or close eye contact or things like that. Like that is literally the way that's released in your body, and otherwise you don't achieve that. And he's like, this is a guy who like, he hugs everyone he meets because that's like initial like trust with somebody. So, I mean, I keep going back to that over and over again. I'm like, we're so disconnected, and now no one's allowed to touch anybody.
Yeah.
So how in the world, that's actually like really against like human nature and science about how we're wired and things like that. And I mean, gosh, think about even like the elderly population that's like in homes and people that get no physical contact now. Like that's actually really unhealthy.
It's been interesting to watch my wife, and it's not been necessarily a negative thing, but she hasn't really had contact with people because she's been working from home. And I've been married to her for 10 years, and the dynamic is really different because when I come home, she wants to talk some, not in a negative way, but she just hasn't gone to work, interacted with people, gone to the store.
Out.
Yeah. And we're, and so it's been like, for her, it's gotten to where it's not healthy. Like we get home and she's like, can we go for a drive in the car, or
Just get out of the house.
in 10 years, she's never said to me, I need to go to dinner with you tonight. Remember one time and the other night, Friday night train with Rich, she's just, hey, please, let's go to dinner. Can we just sit and talk, just because she's just alone all the time now.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of interesting. And she's not broke. I don't mean it in a
no,
bad
no,
way.
no,
It's just she
Yeah.
doesn't get a chance to talk to
Or
anybody,
come work in the coffee shop.
Yeah,
People
right.
in there.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's not a bad idea, actually.
She would be great.
Working here.
I'm going to actually say something to her about that. That might be good. But yeah, for people who my in-laws are in their 80s and they're super social.
Yeah.
Like they'll go home, take a nap, and stay out till 2 a.m. with their friends at Spanky's.
Yeah.
Like having a great time. And they're like all lonely and kind of freaking out and worried and just not getting to talk to anybody. And
Yeah.
we need that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
So, what do you guys think of their? I know you're going to call me a hippie for this or whatever, but
sure.
I think it's a great idea because of there's all these issues now because of how much delivery is happening. That there's a company, I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to think about it. That is trying to send out like metal containers for things, like for everything from like your Haagen-Dazs to your shampoo to things like this. So you order from like this online places like a grocery store or whatever. They also have retail locations, and you leave with like a cooler bag, or it's delivered to your house with a cooler bag and like hard things. And then when you're done with it, you don't have to wash it. You throw it back in the bag. Someone either delivers it or you can drop it off at the post office, and they just resend you new stuff because they're saying with delivery, there's like 4 times as much waste, I guess, because of the plastic and the containers and stuff like that. And I know, like, obviously in like more sustainable cities, people are more open to it, but like realistically, would you guys ever do that? It's like the old milkman theory is kind of how it is.
You're basically saying reuse like your packing stuff.
Right. So if we order like Chick-fil-A for lunch day, for instance,
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
that's not
No,
a good example,
I think
but,
I
like,
understand. Yeah, I mean,
your milk, your ice cream, your vegetable, like whatever you order would come in like a metal, like everything has a container basically.
yeah, and then they come and pick it up and use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's that difficult, right? I mean, you're still getting your stuff, and
Yeah.
What's wrong? What's your negatives to this?
are there
That
areas?
the barrier to entry, like, well, none of us do it right now,
Well,
and
sure.
we could sign on this thing, and they could send us all our stuff. I just think hustle, and I think people are so like, well, it's easy to throw away. Like, would you actually gather it and put it back in this bag? Would
No,
you put,
absolutely
like,
not.
right? So then, because you also have to put a deposit in on the containers, because
Then
if
maybe,
they
yes.
give you 8,000 containers, metal containers, they would lose money.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So you have to like.
It probably depends on lifestyle and like how many packages are you really getting.
I'll tell you, food delivery, and like grocery delivery has changed my life.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Do you guys do grocery delivery?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
nice.
did it.
Really, Instacart, that one?
Kroger.
Oh, nice.
Kroger, you just what you want, and they bring it to you, and it's
Up to your house?
$10.
They bring it up to your house?
Heck yeah.
Wow.
I 100%
That is
agree.
Not taking my kids to the grocery store?
That is nice.
Yeah.
Think of how much time you save, though. How much time we spend in the grocery store.
All
I
right,
don't know
but
about you, but
Think
I
about
actually
this.
don't mind going to the grocery
Yeah, I
store
kinda like the
sometimes
grocery
because,
store.
but most of the time I buy stuff I don't need when I'm at the grocery store. This is like, all right, I just pick this, pick that, pick this.
yeah.
It's awesome.
I
And
got
then-
freaked
I
out
agree.
the other day. I'm at Chipotle eating, and I don't know what company, DoorDash
DoorDash,
guy or
whatever,
something, pulls up. He comes walking in, so he gets out of his car. Cigarette smoke just pours out of his car. He's got a cigarette hanging in his mouth, and there are 3 children in the car. 2 in car seats in the back, and a little bit older one in the front seat. And the car looks like it's POS.
Oh.
And he walks in, and look, good for him for working, you know. So I'm not judging his heart. I'm just saying he comes in and he gets the food and he puts it in his little bag thing and then takes it out. And he was delivering food to somebody's house. And I was just like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know that I want to eat that food. And I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad he was out working, but that guy's bringing the food to my house.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
it
a
is
little bit
hard to
tripped
know
out
in
by
that
it.
regard about
So
those
is DoorDash
things.
third party then? So it's like always different people to all different restaurants.
Yep.
Like Chick-fil-A doesn't have their own DoorDash crew.
Yeah.
Was
Same
that
with-
horrible
same
of me or no?
No,
I was
same
just trying to be
with
like,
Instacart.
I mean,
I
you don't
don't
want cigarette smoke in your food. As long as I
Yeah.
don't taste cigarette smoke in
Yeah.
my food, I don't care.
Yeah. I've had someone bring that up before too, which is interesting. I also didn't realize, like, so if you use Instacart, like, so that's what I use for Publix. And last night I ordered my groceries. I get an extra bag, and it's got 2 containers of Haagen-Dazs, a thing of sherbet, a bag of
Sherbet
grapes, some
or
sherbet.
sherbet?
What? How do you
There's
say?
not,
It?
there's not an extra R in there. I don't think.
Sherbet?
Sherbet.
It's sherbet? Are you
Pretty
kidding
sure.
me? Can
Is
we
it?
look at this? Can
I always
someone
thought
look
it
that
was
up?
sherbet.
I always thought it was too, but I'm pretty sure it's sherbet.
Wow. Anyway, so I'm like, and then like 2 lemons, and I'm like, jackpot, I can use all of this stuff. Jesus loves me. I got some extra stuff. Maybe the lady was just
Jesus.
doing a good deed. Like, I'm so pumped.
He does.
I'm putting it away. I'm like, oh, I love Instacart so much. And that lady, she's just so great. I'm giving her the best, rating, whatever.
She comes back for it.
An hour and a half later,
Yeah.
knocking on the door.
For ice cream?
Yeah, she goes, and it was a whole bag of ice cream. It was like all different flavors, and I never buy that kind. I buy the crap. Like,
Was it for someone else or was it for her?
she's like, oh, that was actually for the house down the street.
Oh.
And I was like, so you shop for 2 at the same time. But this is also, they can chat with you. And usually, like, I don't look at the chat.
Yeah.
She goes, they don't have this ham. They only have this ham. So should I just get like the however many ounces? And I'm thinking, I didn't order ham.
Yeah.
And I just put like, sounds good, whatever. And then she asked again at checkout, like, there's something wrong with your
Either
order.
one, actually. Sherbet or sherbet. It's
Oh.
it's pronounced, is usually the word for a frozen sweet dessert made from fruit or fruit juices.
It's sherbet?
Well,
With the
I had some
initial R.
sweet sherbet.
The second
The
syllable
pink and orange
pronounced
kind.
sherbet is less commonly used.
Gosh.
There we go.
I was actually excited to get into the sherbet.
Isn't a sherbet a guy that guides you up Everest?
Sherbet or
Sherpa,
sherbet?
Sherpa. Yeah.
just
yeah.
kidding.
So she's also messaging me about
Dad
get this.
jokes.
And she's checking out. She's like, I'm not cleared to buy this many groceries. And like usually they put like $50 extra like in the waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the receipt. This is no joke. She had ordered 15 times different containers of ham, sliced ham from the deli, up to $100 worth of sliced ham.
Oh, geez.
So
I
you
didn't
have
even
a-
order ham.
So you have $100 worth of ham?
No, it went because it wouldn't let her check out because it was so far over the price.
Oh,
I didn't know
geez.
there was a price limit on it.
I think they add like $50 to like just like the because there some items can change or whatever.
Yeah.
So what app do you use to have your groceries delivered? Like, how does that work?
Kroger. I just use the
Kroger.
Kroger app. 'cause
So
usually-
and they charge you an extra $10 and then they send them to your house.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty.
You Publix
interesting.
is $3.99 and it's you download the Publix app, but then it's Instacart by Publix.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I might need to do that.
We're like, you should get around more people, interact. Okay, we're all doing this Instacart.
So about digital minimalism.
You're like, you know what? This is great. We're going to stay at home.
The other day I was checking my box here at Mayhem in the office, and there was a check in there. And I opened it up, and it was a really large check. And my first thought was, this is awesome. And my second thought was, this is not mine. Somebody screwed up. This check was for Rich, not for me.
Sorry, man.
And that's all right.
A big check? Where was it from?
That was a really big check.
Where was it from?
Who was it from? And it was made out to me. They just made a clerical error. Groove.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, Somebody screwed this up. It's
You're
like you
like,
and
I'm
that
gonna
bag
go
of ice cream.
endorse
It's
it.
just not right.
I don't know. The check with
Should've
money is
just
probably better
said,
than ice cream.
Sorry, I ate all the ice cream.
Yeah, I should have said, sorry, I put that in the checking account. Well, it would have went to you anyways. But
My heart was sad as I got the sherbet out of the fridge. I was like, it's
You can
not
call
for
it
you.
sherbet either. It's either one.
well,
of those.
no.
At least you
I kinda
made,
like the
like,
vanilla.
how sad would you be, though, if you ordered groceries and they gave them to someone else?
That is true. Well, when KM went to watch my dog, I ordered groceries for her, and it went to the neighbor house, and then she's there starving to death, and she's like, no groceries are here. And I get a picture of someone else's driveway, and I'm like, I said, Kristen, if you walk 400 meters down the road and look at doorsteps, they will be on one of the doorsteps. Sure enough, she walks,
And they're
it's
there?
at the neighbor's doorstep, but not the neighbor that we know, the new neighbor.
uh-oh.
And then she's like, do I knock or just grab them? I'm like, just grab them and run.
Oh, that's
Of course, she grabs them. Actually,
They open
honestly, I
the door.
said use your discretion. She grabbed him and ran, and the lady comes out screaming.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, you scared my dog and my family. And I was
Oh,
like, Kristen, I'm
no.
so sorry.
Kristen
Poor thing.
Miller?
Yes.
Oh, and she's just so sweet,
Oh,
too.
she's
So that
so
probably broke
sweet.
her
And I was
heart.
like, I am so
Not
sorry.
they're not her groceries. I mean, Kristen should have grabbed their groceries. You
I
don't need to go
agree.
tell
Yeah.
her.
I know. The lady shouldn't have lost her marbles.
Nope.
Well, it is what it is.
Scary times.
Back to human connection.
When you're
Back to human connection.
knock and say hi. And, nah.
Hey, I'm excited about this race this weekend.
Yeah.
It should be fun. Should be a good time.
What's going to be the worst part for me? Just staying on my feet for the run?
Can you explain how
Have
it
a
went
knee
last
not
year?
snap?
It was just really, it was good. I mean, it's a 4-mile run. There were some like fitness stations, but they weren't, like I told you guys earlier in the barn, they were all like, kind of made it even easier on the runners because it was all just cardio, like lightweight, super lightweight, stuff. And so we added a little bit of barrier to entry there and some heavier stuff in there to slow the really good runners down, but also
Did you
just
program
have
the
to
event?
you have to be well-rounded in fitness versus just a runner. So, but if you can't, hit the weights, then there's a little bit of a punishment, and you can still do the race, but you got to make up some time on that stuff. So I think it's a good balance of stuff.
That's cool. It's for charity.
Yeah,
Legends
there's
of the Falls.
150-pound
Yeah.
sandbag is the heaviest implement there is, which is shouldn't be that heavy.
No. In our group, Jake can do all that work.
There you go.
I'll encourage him.
You can do 150, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, then if not, he's going to have to do 30 of them by himself.
No, I can do the 150.
Okay. Yeah,
It'll
then
be all
that's
right.
really the only thing.
Yeah.
The terrain is pretty steep in some spots, and it's a fitness
This is going to be
test.
cool.
It'll be fun.
Real
It'll be a good
fitness.
A little bit of swimming in the cold. I heard it was good. Josh was telling
Not
us it
much
was
of
going to be
swimming.
like
It's like-
40 degrees.
time. Yeah, it's like a swim through 50 yards of water.
Did you
It's
invite
nothing.
any other team? Like, are there any other CrossFit style teams showing up?
I
or is
don't
it
know.
just-
I'm not sure. I've heard.
I guess it's kind of sold out, though, maybe.
It's 100 teams. I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's
In
a lot.
one
That
division?
times
One
four?
division. That's good.
Dang, that's really
It's
good.
400 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Josh said $20,000 raised for the charity. So
That's great.
Mayhem Missions.
Wow.
Nice.
Solid.
Just through the race stuff, so not
Yeah.
even counting donations or anything.
That's
like
really
that.
cool.
Yeah, that's
good.
great.
Wow. Is there anything else surrounding the event, or it's like the event itself is the fundraiser? Are you saying like there's
The
other
event-
stuff?
Yeah, no, sponsors and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Not counting that type of stuff.
Cool.
Gadsden, Alabama. I've never been there before.
Nakalula Falls.
That's how you
Nakalula?
say that.
Yep.
Someone
That's
asked
a
at
native
10:30
thing.
this morning.
Yeah, she apparently
Nakalula.
Nakalula. There's the legend of Nakalula. She was part of one tribe.
Okay.
And there was another tribe. She fell in love with a warrior from the other tribe. I may be butchering this. You may want to Google it, but this is what I was told.
Right.
She fell in love with somebody in a neighboring tribe.
Okay.
But she was like the chief's daughter, and so she was promised to somebody in her tribe.
Okay.
And so instead of going with this one, she killed herself, jumped off the falls.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Is that
Nakalula.
So there's literally a statue of her like pointing
That's
or
true?
something or pointing down right at the top of the waterfall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Legend
That guy
of-
in her
Legend of
tribe
Nakalula.
must have-
Starstruck love, you know?
Yeah, I'm like,
There's a love story in this whole thing.
Wow.
I like
So,
that
yeah.
name, Nakalula.
Yeah, I did.
that is
yeah.
a cool name.
Yeah, you may want to look it up. I think I'm 99% sure that's what happened. That's
I
what
like it.
the natives there told me. Not Native Americans, but Native Alabamians.
Okay.
You're
Is that
right.
what that is?
Brian.
I love Brian. That's what Brian
So
said.
Brian.
Oh, Brian and Michael and all those guys.
Is that where
Cool.
he's from? Or is this
Yeah,
where he
from
kind of
Gadsden.
landed?
Yeah, no, that's
okay.
where he's from.
All right.
Yep.
Outstanding.
Speaking of Gadsden, Alabama, the home of Kettle Bros popcorn.
Ooh.
It is available in both original and protein-packed flavors. as a snack the whole family can enjoy without any added chemicals or other garbage. Go follow them on Instagram at Kettle Bros and use the discount code Froning for 10% off the entire order at kettlebros.com. Good
Boom.
stuff. Yeah,
Good
we're going to
corn.
recycle some
Yeah,
of these
super yummy.
popcorn or some of these ads because they're all the same. And
Is
I'm
that
not
all of
reading
them?
this Stuff. Froning Farms. Did you guys try the new stick yet?
So
It's
good.
right?
Haven't tried
Yeah.
it yet.
It's better than the other one's
Jalapeno-
good too.
The other
but
one's
it's
really
better.
good. The sticks are good. They're super
really good.
like tender and like with Slim Jim. They're
There's-
greasy and
they're
nasty.
super
Like
greasy,
these are
yeah.
good. Then the biltong's awesome. Then we got some new apparel. We keep sewing out of those flannel.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are so nice.
Those are
I really
nice.
need to get one of
They're
those.
cool.
That's really
They're cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to wear it the other night because we were burning some stuff at the house.
Yeah.
Wood, sorry, if any EPA. We were burning wood. It's not that big a deal, just some brush. And I went to put it on because I was like, yeah, it'll be cold outside. It wasn't cold. I was
Not
like,
yet.
So like disappointed because
This
the other
weekend.
night, it was Saturday.
Oh
it was
yeah,
cold.
you'll probably be able to
It
wear
was
this
hot. I
weekend.
mean, so, yep. Yeah.
Good
And then
stuff.
apparel, Mayhem apparel,
So much new apparel.
all the camo.
The camo
Can't even
stuff
see
looks good.
Tasia. She's not even here.
Wow.
Just a
My
floating-
everybody's not
just
here.
a floating head. What time are we at?
We're pretty much
I
there.
think we're at an hour.
We gone.
You were also right about that story. I just looked it up. You were correct.
Nakalula Falls.
Nakalula
Yeah,
Falls.
the statue looks like she's like pretty bummed.
Well,
Yep, that's her. She's looking.
she's getting ready to die.
She's looking over that about to
She's
jump.
very dainty in her attempt.
Oh shoot, man!
Yeah.
Star-crossed lovers,
I hate it when
Wow.
that happens.
Poor Nakalula. All right. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.